art journal books, to me, they are not only about the art journal pages which are inside, but also about the covers, even though I really don't like to make them. But in 2 days I made 2 covers and here they are. Just stay tuned. I am so glad you stopped by to my channel. It's JOANNAMARQUET here, Lemon Creation. I'm an art journaler and mixed media crafter. And I'm gonna be showing you today 2 art journal covers. This is gonna be the first book I'm using. I froze the screen just to show you it's a book which is already filled up. And that's how I was usually doing. I was filling up my art journal pages and then I was doing a cover. This is a tricky thing though, because it's very hard to work on the cover when your art journal is bulky. This is actually altered book which is very old, and as you can see here I had to add a piece of fabric. I had a leftover piece of fabric which was not very big, so I couldn't actually cover the whole cover. And this I've done at some point, so I didn't make a video of that, but I basically took a piece of cloth and I just glued it to the spine because the spine cracked. And so there was no way to recover it. So that was my way to recover. But because I didn't have too much of the fabric, I had to put it only on the spine, and so, you know, this kind of a border between the fabric and the rest of the cover is very visible. I'm gonna later show you how to fix this problem, but for now on, let me just try to catch up with the movie. So I am putting a layer of black gesso on the book. I covered, or I placed rather, on kitchen towels between the covers and the first pages, because it's very important, and I learned that from my mistakes, not to not to put any gesso in this case on the pages which you already done. And this is not a problem if you do the covers first and then you work in your art journal. But as I said, until now I was doing quite the opposite. And after everything is dry, I decided to actually use one of my stencils and place it in a way that I will cover the spine which is visible, or rather my reparation which is visible. For a moment there I was lost. I didn't know where to put the paper which I torn to make, just edges, to make kind of really nice transition between the stencil and the rest of the book. I'm using pasta Scultura from Stamperia. It's one of my favorite pastes, and in a few moments I'm gonna show you the texture of it. I absolutely love it. It's kind of like, like a broken paper into a tiny pieces. It's really nice, and it doesn't run, so it's very good also for intricate stencils. I'm trying to show you right now. The camera isn't picking up very much the texture, but as you can see here, it's kind of like really papery paste. The stencil was also placed with the mint tape, because like that I'm sure it's not gonna move if I press too much with the palette knife. Of course I let it dry, the first cover, or the front cover, and then I decided to add a little bit more of stenciling, but not exactly as much as on the front cover, on the back cover. Again using the same pasta Scultura and the palette knife, and as you can see it was a really sunny day, and now I'm not sure if you cannot hear, but we have a storm and it's awful. It's just, there is lightnings and the rain is falling, so I hope you cannot hear it in the background. It's just in the space of 2 days everything changed, the weather changed completely. Here are my swatches from Lindy's gang, and I am trying to pick up the color combo. I quite often go for greens or blues or purples. Here there is not really an exception to this rule. Those are my favorite type of colors. Of course I go for other ones, but I stayed for a purple and blue today. and I was showing you, those are actually sprays with mica, so they have a shine to them. It's very important, especially if you didn't use them for a while, all this shine falls on the back, on the bottom of the bottle. It's very important to shake them well, and if that doesn't help, you actually have to use a brush or something, you know, which you can insert into the bottle and just stir it. So like that, you're gonna get a proper color, as opposed to just, you know, what stays on the surface. I didn't like this blue. I mean, I like the blue very much on the white stencil part. The purple is just beautiful. But as you can see, maybe it's not very clear, but later after drying you're gonna see, on the black part of the book, the blue gave me a green color, and kind of actually sparkly, and I really didn't appreciate that. But for now, let's stay with my cover. So I'm spraying a little bit with purple, a little bit with blue, trying to kind of keep it beside the spine of the book, more of the purple, and farther away more of the blue. And of course, this is just my idea of doing it. And where I could see still the white spaces, I actually used just the brush, because there was so much paint already on the cover that I didn't want to spray anymore. I just moved the paint with the brush. And once again, be careful when you do that, if your book is already done, to not put some paper, like kitchen towels, to protect the inside pages. I've been showing you there was some kind of writing embossed on the book, so I decided to replace it, or cover rather it, with the sentence which comes from my words, "Come with me where dreams are born," and the green part of the spray which stayed on the book, I actually removed it with the baby wipe. So like that, I don't have it anymore. And guys, when I was doing the first book, here is the second one, I actually had some gesso left over, and there was quite a lot. Didn't want to throw it out, so I decided to start a new altered art journal. And this is completely different process for me, because right now I am actually making cover of a book which haven't been used. So there are pages which I haven't worked on. I have never touched the inside of this book, but I just said, okay, one altered book is finished. I don't have any other one which is already you know, in progress, so I'm gonna take one, and why not make it right now, just the covers, and see how it goes from there. I wanted to cover, there was again embossed writing in the middle of the book. I wanted to cover it with gesso. It didn't work, the writing was still visible, so I decided to just in the middle, because there is this perfect kind of a rectangle in the middle which is embossed also. I decided to put some stenciling. I'm using my stencil 1001 Nights, and this time I'm using a Crackle paste. I've never used Crackle paste with such a small or intricate stencil, so I was not sure what effect I'm gonna get. It worked fine, but the crackles are not that visible. You're gonna see it in a while. But as you can see, I put the masking tape around this rectangle, so like that I knew that, you know, I'm not gonna put the Crackle paste anywhere else. And here I am using one of Finnabar wax, and you're gonna of course get a full list of products in the description box below, so just have a look over there. And it didn't very well worked with the Crackle paste, because it kind of stayed on the top in the raised surfaces. So I decided to take an old brush, and with the old brush I moved it in between the stenciled parts, and like that it took its proper color, which is kind of also purpley. And this one is the other wax, which I think is white gold, even though it doesn't look, or rose gold, I think. I'm sorry guys, I am mixing up the names, but as I said, the names are gonna be given to you in the description box below. And so I am trying with the more or less precise and smooth movements to, you know, to add this wax to the book, which already have some embossed parts, which means that it looks beautiful with the waxes. Like, you know, the parts are so much more visible right now, and I really love it. And I put a small metal corners to the book to give it more like, you know, kind of luxury but vintagey look. And so, not to, you know, telling you that the book is not filled up, I'm actually showing you it is not. And I watched few tutorials on YouTube to find out how people are preparing actually altered books, because a lot of books I have, they were actually breaking into pieces. I'm gonna try to find you one of the tutorials which I appreciate the most, in which the artist, she was actually tearing away 3 pages and then leaving 3 pages which she was gluing together, either with a glue. I use actually also double-sided tape, but right now I ran out of the you know, the white double-sided tape, and I don't want to use the thin one. So I said I'm gonna try with her technique, and I use bond folder, I think it's called, to smooth the pages. On this edges I use normal glue, just in case I don't see that my matte gel, which I'm using right now, was spread correctly, because it's important to keep also the edges very well glued. And that's how I do right now. I'm gonna try. I'm not sure if that works. For her it worked. We'll see if it works for me. We'll see how this art journal is gonna behave later. And this is the finished one. I really prefer this one than the other one, but as I said, my art journals are very bulky, so we'll see how it works with time. I know that the covers are not are quite simple actually, but that's what I like. And also I have to tell you, stocking the covers, the art journals, which are already bulky, with the covers which have a lot of elements glued to them, it's not actually a good idea. I learned that. I have few of my earlier covers which are like that. It's very hard, they are taking too much place, and I don't really appreciate them that much. But of course, you know, if that's your cup of coffee, why not? This is mine. I like the simplicity of the covers, and the more, you know, intricate part of the story happens inside the journal itself. I am quite curious to know which cover out of those 2 I made today in today's video you like the most. I have to tell you, my favorite is the second one. This one I've just finished. But I have to say, I didn't have to do too much. And this is also my, maybe my hint for you. When you are choosing your books, choose the books which are old but still in a kind of a good state, and if they have a covers with elements embossed on them, just go for it. And if you like the video, I would appreciate if you share it with your friends. Thank you for subscribing, for hitting the bell button, and for checking my shop. The link you're gonna find in the description box below. And if you want to see the flip through the first journal I've made in this video, it's gonna be just here in the corner and also in the description box below. I'm sending you big hugs, and see you in the next one. Bye bye!